Hello, I am not a Python King in hiding, and welcome back to my tour of After the Flash 7, Mirage. In the last video, I covered the Myriad camp well over yonder, as well as this bar right here, and a few other places throughout the area. I kind of skipped over the lore of the areas, but I might as well just go over it now, a video later, several days later. I've been having a lot of trouble lately. The Myriad camp is it's where a gang called Myriad live. They were a gang based in Texas that had a myriad of peoples in it. And then they moved to Arizona. They're mercenaries. They do odd jobs and get money. That's really about it. They are in this area because the SLF, which is the Southwest Libertarian Front, not the Liberation Front. Don't know how I got that. Well, I suppose I know how I got that in my mind, but the Libertarian Front, not the Liberation Front. I've been saying it wrong this entire time, and I'm slightly embarrassed at that. This time, we'll be covering the Goldfield Mountain Complex. It is an underground bunker, military bunker. After the Flash, it was taken over by the USCPF, you know, those guys. But later on, there was a schism. There was a fight within the area, and now it is owned by the 17th Sustainment Brigade, who are now in charge of the area. It is currently a black market, but there's a whole complex within that we'll be exploring. But first, just outside, as you've seen here, there's just a little military medical tent with 4 beds, some surgical machinery, plenty of IVs, some tools, medicines, and yeah, makes sense. Got a camp here. This is a real camp. For some reason, I keep wanting to call tents camps, but this is a camp. Got a cooler, some chairs. I like the lawn chairs. Yeah. So yeah, here is the Goldfield Mountain Complex. The front entrance, just pretty basic. There's some ammo boxes. It's well defended. You've got a lamp that doesn't turn on, but you know, you have a little umbrella here. That's nice. It's kind of destroyed, but you know, they've taken some defenses. There's some upper things, so I question how you're supposed to get up here. Perhaps there used to be ladders, but during the rebellion it fell apart. Here we have a vehicle fixing area, some outside garages and tool kits, some tires, and one of these things. I forget what it's called, but you know, slide under the car. Here we have a stand with an eternally on lantern. I didn't turn that on. It just is. We've got a medical car, a gun that's half buried in the sand. Then up here, you have some more defenses. A ladder that's partly destroyed, but yeah, plenty of spots to stand. Not very easy to get on. Here's a vent. Trying to get my camera in there, but looks like it doesn't go very deep. And here's the entrance proper. There's a small thing up there, but we'll be seeing that in a minute. I should give myself 1 second. I always forget to do this. I'm going to give myself the lantern because this place is rather dark. So, I like this tool. Just put it on the waist. It works. There's some lights, but this place doesn't have that many lights. This first room has plenty. So yeah, here's the black market itself. It's pretty small. Not my ideal black market size, but it's pleasant. Got a gun shop here. Guns, ammos, and etc. I like the hanging lantern. No guns in here, but you know, there's some ammo in the locker. Pretty small supplies, but here's where there's a lot more supplies in terms of ammo. We got 2 huge ammo boxes and some other knickknacks on the wall. Here we have a small eatery. Got some ketchup or Tabasco. That's more Tabasco sauce, I think. And I think that's a shaker for pepper, probably. Only got a single fridge. Pretty tiny spot right there. Some old, probably dirty water that is actually completely stand-onable. Okay, makes sense. Here's another spot. Just a stand out here, and then there's offices and there's a bed. I mean, not offices, but filing cabinets. I like to so in the description for this place, it says that people are, despite this being a black market and thus illegal, you're able to post bounties here, and I imagine this is where that would be. You post bounties here, you turn them in, you get paid, etc., etc. Sorry about that. Had a yawn. Here we just have a small garage. Tool. I can open it. Can I open it? I can't open it. Nothing's in it. That one depresses. What? That doesn't seem right. I feel like that should open. But yeah, got a whole tool bench right here, workbench. And that's it for this little room. Goes a bit deeper than that. Here is some graffiti. Remember the lives you took. We will. Unlike normal, this place actually has a working elevator. So I can actually ride an elevator all the way down. That's nice, isn't it? The ladder's right here. There's nothing missed. It's just a ladder. Here's a tunnel. It goes to the Goldfield Outlook, which is that room that we saw up above that overlooks the area. I find it kind of funny that there's a teleport for it, because that means they couldn't really figure out a good way to have it connect naturally, especially because there's a big ladder, an elevator, so there just had to be a series of tunnels that lead up here. Got some filing cabinets, got a bucket, cup, some pliers, some seating. Part of the wall was destroyed. I wonder how new all this is. So, like, was this all here when the place was first made? Because it's kind of built into the rock. There's no officiality to this room. There are some nicely carved out stairs, so who knows, maybe. Go back to the complex itself, the Goldfield Inner Tunnel. Deeper. Some of the last lanterns we'll be clicking on, because here is the complex proper. Goes for a bit, but not that much, so this will be a relatively short video. First here, it's divided into sectors. First here is the orange sector, S0. Seems to be where the generators are. The boiler, I assume, is what this is. These are the water filters and boilers and whatnot. Water here actually works perfectly, but if you're wondering why I didn't click on any light switches, the power doesn't. I don't know if it's supposed to or not. This place feels rather nice for the power to not be working, but it just doesn't. Here we have, I think this is a proper generator, because it looks like this doodad would fit in there, and that feels like a power source of some sort. I don't know what the idea was behind it, but got plenty of levers, switches, buttons, probably sliders. Got some fuse boxes. We have, I just questioned this sink. There's a sink next to all the fuse boxes. Then right here is just a little greenhouse. No light except for the lantern, so there is a light, but there's no plants, is what I meant to say. So it's not being used. Not in use. Just across, S1, the red sector. Got a shirt right here, some seating outside, because this is the medical sector. Plenty of beds. There's 8 beds here. Some paper towels, bucket, some red blood bags, or just red IV, who knows. Plenty of stuff in here. Another sink that works, but the power... Oh, this sink only half works. I know it fully works, but yeah, power, still no worky. So this place, this whole area is just going to be dark, no matter what, which is why I have the lantern. So yeah, medical area. Got a trash can, got some chairs. That's what that is. Past the entrance, got a chest. Can't open that. A lot of things don't work in this area. Here we have S2, storage sector. Seems like more of an office section, but there is some storage here. Nothing in the storage, but, some chairs, tables, desks. There's a whiteboard, a couple of those fancy printers that I like so much. These ones have a nice coloration. They're not rusted, so it's gray, black, solid red right there. Very nice, very nice. Over here is S3, the green sector. This would be the living area. This is where this is a bunker, so this would be where people live. To the left here, we have a fitting room for, I assume, one of these robot suits that we've seen every so often. You'd stand here, I'd put you on, put it on. Got some blueprints, some ammo boxes here, some crates. Yeah, it's pretty. It's just a storage room with a robot with a power armor fitter. I like the models for it. Got this. I've already pointed it out, but I really like the models for these things. Got the robot arm, spinny thing. This is a magnet for the helmet. That's just very cool. Here, this room has tinted windows, so you can't look in, but you can look out. But it's just funny to me because it looks like it's just a closet. Like there's some computer racks here, but server racks. There's a keyboard and mouse. Sorry about that. I yawned again. Why am I in such a disposition to yawn right now? That's annoying. I'd like to just keep talking. Whatever. And we have this chair here with the IV rack right on it, which I imagine makes for a story. I imagine they put this here with a story in mind. Someone was sitting here with an IV. Maybe these pliers were put in with the story they had in mind. I don't know. I don't know what they had in mind, but I like the setup here. Just a lonely room. This whole place is rather lonely. And here is some office space. Got a Coca-Cola and a Pepsi-Cola vending machine. These are rather rusted, which is funny with how nice this whole area is. But, you know, another copy machine, some papers in the waste bin, some boxes. Yeah, just some office space. Here we have prison cells. Not too much to say about them. Got toilet, sink, bed. Really old, rusted doors for some reason. Everything is nice except for that. So it makes me wonder if this place was always a prison. Maybe not. Looks like the lights are... No, they're perfectly... Well, they might not be perfectly, but this might not have always been this, but it also might have always been this, which makes me question the door design a bit. Down further, here is a perfectly unrusted Pepsi vending machine. Perfectly nice and unrusted. Here we have the cafeteria. Some empty vending machines. Plenty of tables. I always like how neat this place is, even if the napkin holders are a bit uneven. Got some tables, some televisions on one side, not the other. And here is the actual kitchen area. Got a sticky note on that fridge, but there's nothing in it. Everything works, so I do wonder what the reason for the power, for the lights not being on is. There's plenty of supplies, plenty of spices, there's some mustard, there's just knives in the open. So I wonder how in use this place is supposed to be. Here's a freezer with some burlap sacks in it. No corpses. And this is weird. This light switch works, but doesn't actually do anything. Doesn't turn on the light anywhere. So I wonder if they meant for all the light switches to be turned on or not. Makes me wonder if that was a mistake, because it feels like this area is slightly unfinished, which is weird because it's very nice and neat. It just feels weird. Here we have the bedroom. Plenty of beds. This room alone can fit 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 16 people in it. 16 beds in this one, and there's another one, so even more. Got an old table, some meeting space, but this table is rusted, so that means you know it's after the flash, as they say. Ho ho, that was actually unintentional. Halfway through it was intentional, but when I started saying it. Here's a vault safe with some stuff in it. No, just got a broom. Seems like this place is in more use. You can tell because things are rusted. That's when things are rusted, that means they're used. Here we have bathroom, locker room, and a shower. Not too much to say about this place. It's just still no toilet paper. Can assure you of that. Yep, no toilet paper. Places never have toilet. This one probably has a closet somewhere with some toilet paper. Who knows? Who knows? I don't. And here's the other one. So there's 2 of them. A lot of space, a lot of bathroom space. Here is the other of the bedrooms. So that's 16 more beds, making that 32 entire beds. That's 32 people this place can hold. Which isn't that many. It is not that many. I'm pretty sure canonically it's supposed to be more people, but it's just a limitation of design. This one's a lot less interesting than the other ones. Just some tables and a coffee mug. That's about it. And that'll be it for the green sector. Down over here, S4, the black sector. Here actually has a light that's flickering. Though the light itself isn't flickering, just the model for it. So the light's solid, but yeah, got some office space, some big old fancy computers, and a big screen room. I love these things. Just makes me think of Pinewood Builders Computer Core. I've always liked these side tables with very simple side desks with very simple controls, and they're a lot less important than the big holographic table and the keyboard and all these other buttons and the pin pad and all that. But yeah, there's some tools over here that are working on the servers. There's a thingy right here. Can't do anything with it, but it looks like it's sometimes something. Maybe it opened up a secret passageway or something, because those are always cool. There's a broom here. That way you know it's complete. And yeah, just a big old... I imagine this is the communications hub. This way they can communicate with outer bases, other places like that. There's a... I imagine there... If you remember, there were some satellites out front. So this might have been what those are for. There's also a pet bed here with an empty food and water bowl. So that's unfortunate. I'm sure things are fine. They probably just moved. Over here, got a table with some boxes, a pickaxe, and a bucket. The equalizer. Over here is someone's office space. Got a computer, well, a monitor, no computer, just a monitor. Some gun cases with no guns in them. Table with some stuff on it. Some boxes with styrofoam. Yeah, pallets. A mat with some pliers and a wrench on it. Yeah. Over here is the last of the sectors. Sector 5, the blue sector, which is just a tramway station. I have no idea where it connected to, because it's actually just that's it. It's nothing of note. It ends into darkness, but you can't teleport anywhere. There's no teleport thing. Makes me wonder how complete this area is, because it feels rather incomplete for a roleplay area and just for exploration. You have especially since they went out of their way to show off that this was being mined out. There's a cave-in of some sort, and they had just mined it out, but it just ends, so there's nothing to be had from that. They could have just left it caved in, nothing would be different. So yeah, I wonder if they had more planned for this area that they just never got to. But I do like the build. It's very cool. It is very detailed. It just doesn't feel lived in to me. Which is unfortunate, because this place was lived in for at least a few years. But anyway, that'll be it for this video. Just a shorter one. I don't really have anything else planned. I hope you enjoyed the time here. I'm just going out. There's also a hole up top, which I think is just for if you're up here and you drop down, you're not stuck. You can just drop into the elevator and you'll be fine. Yeah, that'll be it for this one. Like the video if you liked the video. Subscribe if you would like to see more of these videos. And, as always, I will see you in the next video, where I believe it will be time to cover the city, which is Crater View, I believe. Something like that. One of the two. I always mix them up. There's two of them, and I will always mix them up. Whatever. The main scrap town. That's what I'll be doing next. And that will be a good time. So yeah, see you then. Have a good day. Bye-bye.